And experience alone no longer guarantees promotion as well.
Now, it is not about how many years you have spent, but what you know.
You shouldn't be waiting on a company to prompt you or to give you the opportunities to grow.
As a professional, you must learn to improve yourself from time to time.
Those who don't even really work hard but work smart that get these promotions.
If you wait for your organization to train you, you have just shot yourself in.
As a working professional, what if the problem is not how hard you work or how long you've worked for? What if it's about just the direction you're supposed to go while working? Today, we're going to be reviewing a very interesting book, and I'll call it a blueprint for your direction in your career. It's called The Sought After Professional. And today, we're going to be reviewing this book. My name is Dada. I'm a marketing communications professional. I've been in the business for about 15 years and counting. And with me today is the author, the actual author of this book, in person of bami-daramola. She is a tax consultant, a chartered accountant, and a business recovery practitioner who has been working in this business for about 2 decades. 20 years, thereabout. She's worked across different industries, especially the oil and gas industry. And today she's with me, Mrs. bami-daramola. You're welcome.
Thank you, Toby. It feels so good to be here. I'm excited to be here tonight.
Thank you very much, ma. And with me on my far right is
Victoria Taiwo, and I'm a transfer pricing tax consultant with KPMG Nigeria, and I'm happy to be here.
Okay. And yes, did I mention that this is Mrs. bami-daramola's third book? Can imagine what it means. And I've actually read all the books, actually. This is like the third one now, and it's worth it, honestly. I don't want to say more than that, so there will be no spoilers. It's a book that you should get. I mean, after the review, you'll see whether you get it or not. Yeah, so let's get straight into it. A particular part of this book caught my attention. I'll just read a tidbit of what I saw there and then take us to our very first question. So here it says, longevity in one company no longer guarantees security. And experience alone no longer guarantees promotion as well. But strategic positioning does. Gone are the days when people were promoted based on the number of years, number of time they spent in an organization, because sometimes it feels like it's a yardstick for loyalty to that company. But today, it is your skill that guarantees your promotion. The problem you solve on a daily. It brings you to the front seat. For every problem that you solve, you know that your bosses are watching. And that is when you find out you are positioning yourself without even knowing, based on these skills that you have. Your answers to solutions actually take you to the boardroom. And then it takes me to the fact that a lot of professionals probably miss this particular point. You just find out that they're working for years. They think they're putting in their all, putting in their best, and they expect that their bosses should just be watching from the corner of the office. But guess what? It is those who don't even really work hard but work smart that get these promotions, that get to higher roles because of what they do. Sometimes we have professionals that will just use what you're using a year to do. Someone who is smarter can probably do it in 3 months, and then you find out that that person is actually having more leverage, or should I say an advantage over you. Now, for professionals like that, what do you advise that they do? Because some people are so carried away with the fact that they've just been working here for years, but they don't realize that they're doing the same thing over and over and over again. So what do you think really is the problem there?
All right, I will start from here. Okay. When I started work, that's the early 2000s, and by the way, I've been working for over 20 years now. Then we used to celebrate 10 years with the company, 15 years with the company, 20 years with the company. And of course, that made that person a very loyal staff. You are regarded as one of the important people in the organization. But in this age, one thing that every professional must understand is this. That culture is evolving.
Right.
As culture is evolving, knowledge is increasing. This is affecting organization. Now, it is not about how many years you have spent, but what you know and the solutions you can bring to the table. So it brings me to say that as a professional, you must learn to improve yourself from time to time. That I've spent 15 years here. A girl now, a lady now came after 2 years. She has been promoted. They put her over me. Can you do what she's doing? As culture is evolving, as organization, as knowledge is increasing, are you increasing in knowledge? Are you adding skill to your skill? In this age, you don't sit on years you have spent in an organization. You don't sit on the volume of work you are doing.
Okay.
It is about preferring solution. It is about giving answer to questions. It is about how strategic you can think ahead,
And there's foresight as well.
the foresight you have about the problem. Not just problem, just giving solution to a problem and the problem repeats itself. No, it's about eliminating that problem. Sustainable solution. This is what brings you out. This is what positions you for leadership role. So I would tell any professional now, don't sit. Don't sit down. Don't depend on, I've been here for long, so they cannot do without me. They will shock you.
But we have
They
a
will
lot of
shock you.
professionals who they earn good pay, and that's what matters to them. There's a way to, in fact, it's always difficult to try to convince professionals like salary is not the first, it's not the priority. It's more about developing your skills. So there's that gap where, like you mentioned, develop yourself from time to time. We also have professionals who depend on their companies to help them grow, when sometimes the solution is probably in your hands, but you don't know how. That's where direction now comes in. So at that point, because I want us to give a, what's it called now, people reading this book, what they should expect. Because I know that this book answers quite a number of questions that we're even asking right now, what they might have in their minds. Now, for a professional in such setting, because sometimes, when companies are asking them to give feedback, they bring up these things. How best can one navigate through that phase where you need to grow on your job, or rather on the role that you're doing, and you need to do some professional courses? Is it wise to wait for your company? Because some companies will just keep promising, keep promising, keep promising, you won't see it happening. So is it wise that you do it by yourself? Because there's some people that have taken the bull by the horn, and that's what the company says. And they are positioning themselves for such promotions, while we have the others who are depending on the company to help them grow in that same manner as well. So what do you think about that? Okay, yeah, Victoria, yes.
Okay, so I would like to say that as much as we talk about growth, as much as we talk about change, it is important to know that it is not enough to talk about it. It
Right.
is also important to take the necessary steps. And a part of the book was talking about career design.
Yeah, that
Yes,
part.
because when you have a career design, it prompts you to have a projection plan. In the book, we have a 10-year projection plan
Yes.
that guides you on how to, put your career and position yourself in the space where you work. It's not enough to talk about change, but it's more important to take the necessary steps that would prompt you to the right direction. A part of the book was talking about the reactive professional and the design professional. The reactive professional, you were asking about those who wait on the organizations to, prompt them in the right direction, to take the necessary steps that will help them grow. And that is where I would say the reactive professional comes in. This is your career. You shouldn't be waiting on a company to prompt you or to give you the opportunities to grow. You should sit down and design your career and have a professional identity. So the book covers a 10-year projection plan that prompts you on how to design your career and take the necessary steps that will help you grow.
Toby, let me just add
Okay.
something to what she said.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You are eyeing a position in an organization, and you know what it takes you to occupy that position, right? You know, okay, you need this qualification, you need that skill, to be able to occupy that position. But you are waiting on your company to train you. Now, all of a sudden, you get to the office on Monday morning and there is a memo saying this role is open and they want internal,
In-house.
in-house,
Yeah.
yeah, to apply, what would you do?
I'll personally apply for it. Well, in my head, or what should have ideally happened is I've been preparing myself
How?
over time for such. Not that
Okay.
I saw it coming, but at some point, when I started the conversation, I was like, pivoting is so important to us as professionals in, growing our career over the years. At some point, you want to pivot. It's not just the thought. The thought comes, then there's the awareness, and then what do you want to do about that?
That is why one of the emphasis in the book is on career design.
Design.
That it's a foundation that you must have. You can never leave your growth to your organization. No. Many organizations don't even have they won't even train you. You have to go out all by yourself to get trained. The qualifications that I have, there are some certification that I have today that my company does not know. Where they see the result is in my reports, in my outputs.
The value you're bringing.
Yeah, they just say, okay, wow. So she knows how to do this. It catches them by surprise. I don't need to wait for them to train me. No. As a matter of fact, it's your qualification, it's your certification, it's your skill that you have acquired that pushes you out.
Yeah.
That makes you visible to them to know that, that we have a leader. We have somebody that can sit on the board among us. If you wait for your organization to train you, you have just shot yourself in the leg.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I believe we've been, enjoying it so far, and I'm sure you can't wait to have this book. So one final note here is a part in the Bible. I see that's in Proverbs that says, "A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men." And it takes me to Joseph in the Bible. Yeah, someone like Joseph, and I think there was Daniel as well, David too. So looking at that scenario and painting it to today's reality, someone like Joseph, do we call that positioning? Because over the years, it's sort of like been training, because another big thing that happens in the professional space is referral. And why are you being referred in the first place? Is as a result of someone witnessing you do something, and sometimes not even in that organization. Maybe somewhere else the person is working, and then he says, "Oh, I know somebody that I've worked with before." And people don't prepare themselves for situations like that. So it brings me to, how important is it for us to take excellence on the job as a major, as a priority?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of professionals don't have that.
Intentionality. Intentionality. Being intentional about who you are becoming in your career.
Okay.
Is another point that I emphasized on in the book.
So you advise that people should see career as purpose.
As purpose.
Not just a means to make money.
Not just, I just need a job.
Not a means
just
to
give
an
me a
end.
job. No. Like, for example, let's speak on the question you asked.
Yeah.
That referrals and all that. What will make somebody refer me to an organization? Is because that person has interacted or related with
exactly,
me.
And seen how you've done your job.
Yeah, seen how I do my job, the excellence I put in, my skill, my relational skill, my character, my integrity, and all. So such person can vouch. Oh, do you remember Dora Akunyili's case? Why she was chosen as the DG of NAFDAC then? Somebody actually remembered what she did in time past. I said, I know somebody that can take up this role and would do it excellently. And she was recommended. And Obasanjo, took her in. And we saw what this woman did. Now, so I said intentionality is very key. And it still goes back to career design. From the onset, don't pick a job or pick a role because it can pay the bills or because it can put food on your table.
Right.
Be intentional about it. There are some offers I turned down, not because they are not good, not because they are not fantastic, but because they don't align with my career. They don't align with who I want to be or who I want to become. Let me quickly say this, that your job is different from your career. because many
Right.
people are mixing it up. And that is where a major confusion is.
Okay.
Your job is not your career. Your job is what you do.
Hmm.
But your career is who you are becoming.
Right. So your job is like a vehicle
Yes.
to your
So you
career
must say,
growth.
this is the path I am taking. I want to be a financial accountant. I want to be not just a financial accountant, but a financial accountant that stands out. That in the whole of the Nigeria or in the whole of the oil and gas industry, when they are looking for someone that can deliver on financial accounting, if they're going to count five or call five names, my name should be one. Right. That is a career design. Then you begin to do reverse engineering. This is where I'm going. Then how do I get there? What are the things I need to do to get to that position? So this is very important for every professional. Design your career from the onset. Money is not everything. Don't take roles because of money. I have seen colleagues, I've seen friends over the time, over the years that I am still active, I'm still practicing, I'm working, but they can't work. Why? Because they have streamlined themselves. They are redundant, but they are not retired. There is a limit to what they can do.
Okay.
So it's very important that you are conscious of where you are going and who you want to become. It's very key. And these are the things that will prompt you to sit down and tell yourself, okay, I want to work. Fine. In what area? What do I want to become? How do I begin? What are the things, the skills I need to acquire? As a matter of fact, what are the characters I need to build? Because sometimes, the door that competence cannot open for you, character will open it
Character
for you.
will,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
Character will open it
Definitely.
for you. So it's important. All these things still dance around career design.
Okay. So we're
That's the
not giving in
foundation.
too much. You need to get this book. Honestly, a lot of answers that you're looking for. It's beyond what she's even said here. You need to get this book. And it's something I promise you that you read over and over
over
again,
again.
honestly. So one final note. So it was based this is an offshoot of what you said earlier about career design. So we know that there's some um professions, or should I say, some practices that you have to focus on. So what's that thin line, or how do we differentiate when one wants to focus on one skill and know that they are growing on that particular skill, as against one who is a jack of all trades? So maybe I'm asking about the pros and cons, because really there's some people that thrive on a particular skill that they've grown into and they have actually pivoted on that particular. So I'll give an example. It's just like having practitioners. Medical doctors cannot do everything. Some are obstetricians, some are pediatricians, some are what they call obgyn.
Yes,
Exactly. Some are surgeons.
gynecologist.
I mean, for those people, they can't practice all of it. It has to be on one. You understand? So for such, at what point do we create a balance? Because there's people that are so keen on focusing on one practitioner, and it's because of the fact that the practitioner even calls for it, as against where you are opened in another industry where you can actually practice across board. I don't even understand where I'm. So at what point do we now create that balance? Because sometimes you can be a jack of all trades and you're not perfect in one particular thing. Right? So what do you have to say, Victoria, about that?
Okay, so I would say that regarding skills,
Yeah.
there are technical skills that are called to your specialization.
Okay,
And
thank
there
you.
are
Specialization is the word I was looking for. Yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
And there are other skills that are necessary. So if you find yourself in a profession where you have to streamline your technical skills to what you do, to your core,
Yeah.
that doesn't hinder you from acquiring the other skills and leveraging those skills to enhance the output that you get
Okay.
in your career. So for example, you have to acquire technical skills to carry out your regular duties in your career. How about getting other skills like human relationship skills, speaking to people, managing pressure? I mean, we I think we now overemphasize, or we have talked about working under pressure. We joke about it, but there's a level you get to when you have a lot to do, and then you still have to manage people, you still have to manage subordinates, and then you cannot get to put yourself together. You lash out on people, you lash out on your clients because you are under pressure, because you want to turn out a technically correct deliverable. While you are turning out that deliverable, how about the impression that you have left on your clients? How about the impression that you have left on the subordinate or the manager you're working with?
Right.
So it is important to also, while you are acquiring technical skills, it is also important to acquire the other necessary skills. So this book is not telling you to just focus on technical
Yeah.
skills. There are also
Soft
other
skills.
yes,
Soft
other
skills.
important areas. So that's where I'm coming from. I don't know if she still has
Okay.
other questions.
Yeah, you have actually answered the question. You cannot be everywhere.
Right.
All right, you cannot be everywhere. But however, as you are streamlining or focusing, like I said, I am a financial accountant. You see another person being a management accountant.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have
exactly.
different angles in
But is
accounting.
it possible to have a general practitioner in accounting?
Yeah, you might have, but there is no specialty. You might not be excellent
In
So
the
in
enhance
other,
your
but you
yes,
have an
deliverable.
yes,
idea.
you have an
Yeah,
idea. That is the
exactly.
The
word.
basics.
You have an idea. That's the basis. We all went to school. We studied
Right. Before you
accounting,
now start to
said specialize.
specialize.
Okay,
Makes sense.
I am focusing on management accounting. Another person is focusing on financial accounting. Another person takes taxation as their
their
core
core.
from the beginning
And
and
Right.
audience.
all that. And they
Audits, yeah.
begin to build skills, technical
Around.
skills around their
Exactly.
specialty,
Right.
around their specialization.
Okay.
So as you are going on in that, like she said, you have to add your soft skill, relational skill.
Right.
It's very key because sometimes technical skill will not sustain, will not keep you on the job.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier, yes.
It cannot keep you on the job. If you lack soft skill, you might lose your job.
And one of the things she said, even answers to emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Exactly.
Your ability to relate, put yourself in the shoes of the people you
Being
are talking with.
empathetic.
Yes, being empathetic, that's the word.
Yeah.
And all that. These things, they go hand
Hand in hand.
in hand.
Right.
That is why in the book, there is a 10-year 10-year projection plan, career projection plan.
Yeah.
Then at the end of it, there is a bonus of the blueprint for yes,
You can
the
hear
strategic
that.
blueprint for implementation.
Right.
All right, that is a bonus I put there, and I can categorically tell you that if you follow those blueprints, you'll come back.
You will look
So
for
give me
this
a hug.
author. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so that we're not giving you any more, I won't even call it a spoiler because it's not a movie we're reviewing right now. But if you want more, I know that this podcast is not doing justice as much as you want. The justice you want is in buying this book, getting it. It's called The Sought After Professional, and you can get it on
Seller
Yeah.
and Nestige.
Thank you very much, and we'll
Also
see you
for
again some
counseling,
other time. Yeah.
for mentorship, and you want a hand holding, you can reach me. My number is going to be displayed on the screen. I'll be willing to help support you in your career journey. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And bye for now.
Bye.